Los Angeles. Welcome to Good Morning La La Land. I'm Dr. Erin.
I'm Rob Mack.
And I'm Jez Moyer. This is Good Morning La La Land, America's first live streaming daily talk show, coming to you Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Now also available on Apple TV and Roku.
That's right. It's hashtag Motivation Monday, Mindfulness Monday, Manifestation Monday, Miracle Monday, whatever you want to say. We come together each morning to know the truth, live on spiritual principle, and align with universal law. Today we're going to talk about how to stay woke. Because we're woke, now we're going to stay woke.
I love that. You're hitting the alliterations today.
Oh yeah, I like it. I got it in the zone.
You know, right.
Stay woke. Wake up, show up, shine. That's what I like to say. And that's what our guests have done. I'm so excited to welcome to the show this group of beautiful people in the house. The Positivity Summit speakers are here. And Weitzman is back talking about his new film, Flipping the Script. Good morning.
Good morning.
Wow. Way to start the week, right, guys?
Yes.
Here.
Full house.
Coming in
Exactly.
hot.
Well, everyone here knows the drill. We like to know what your morning routine is, one secret, and how you start your day. So, BJ the Dreamer, you've got the mic. If you wouldn't mind just giving us a little bit of how you start your day, I would really like to know.
Mine is a little bit crazy. No, I'm kidding. You said joke. I did a joke. So I wake up every morning. I meditate for 15 minutes. This guy by the name of Brendan Burchard, he has this thing called the release meditation technique. And it's basically you just using this mantra saying release, release, release. So I meditate for 15 to 20 minutes, and then I go to the gym. I come back, I write down what I need to do for the day, then I'm off for the day. That's pretty much my routine every morning.
We love Brendan Burchard. Nick will be on his stage the 29th of this month up in San Fran.
Nick
I will
Pigeon?
be up there supporting. Big hugs to Brendan and all his team.
Is that Nick Pigeon? Oh, cool.
Yep.
Good morning, Eileen. We're so excited to have you here today.
Thank you.
So we know you're an actress, writer, producer, disability advocate. What do you do to start your day off so you can tackle all those tasks?
First thing, coffee. That's first thing is coffee, and look at what's on the list for the day, because my list never gets done. It's always whatever's most pressing every day. So I look at the list and figure out what's most urgent, and then how do I fit in an exercise and all the things I need to do, and then I get rolling fast.
Well, you make
every morning is a race.
I feel the same way. You can never quite go fast enough.
Right.
Well, thank you so much for being here, Jeff
Thank
Weitzman.
you.
Welcome back to the show. How are you today?
Doing great, thank you. Good to see you again.
Congratulations. We heard that Cancer Can Be Killed will be at the Glendale International Film Festival.
Indeed. And I have a new film that just came out on Amazon Prime Videos called Flipping the Script.
You're busy.
You know, in terms of morning, what works for me best is going on a half-hour walk with my dog. He's a pit bull. He loves walking. And for me, that's the time that the head just gets clear. There's something about walking for me that is better than sitting in terms of meditation. I don't know why, but if I can get on that half-hour walk with my dog and get moving, that clears my brain.
It's a moving meditation. I love it. Sometimes I do moving meditative meetings. I love it. Yeah.
Walking meditation.
Yes.
We love that. Cornell Thomas, welcome back to the show.
What's up, guys?
What's up, man?
How you doing?
We're so excited that you're back with us and that you've brought this group of incredible people. Congratulations on the Positivity Summit. We're
Thank
excited
you so
for
much. I would say the first thing I do is I say thanks. I'm grateful that I have breath. That's the first thing. The second thing I do is I come up with a quote to put out on social media, something that can inspire people and motivate people. The third thing I do, I ask my 3-year-old daughter, Naya, why is she awake? Because it's 5 a.m., she's staring at me.
She stays too woke.
Yeah,
She's too
you want to
woke.
talk about woke. My daughter's woke all the time. So I'm asking her, why are you awake? So those are the 3 things that I do when I wake up in the morning.
Oh. Hello, Ms. Danielle Martin.
Good morning.
How do you stay true from the inside out when you wake up first thing in the morning?
I have 2 boys, so they are definitely my priority and first thing I try to tackle in the morning and get off to school. I definitely get up and I really try to kind of see where I'm at. I always have this philosophy of whatever you are that day, get 100 of it, because I don't believe that, everybody's like, be 100% all the time. And I might get up and I might just be 80%. So I really make a point of trying to get 100 of that. And I always try to get in the ocean or go run down near it and kind of get my blood going, and then I hit the to-do list, which, like she said never gets done. So it's like, you know, it's always pouring into itself and growing. So that's great.
Oh, well, thank you for starting your day and week off with us. We're really excited to know more. Good morning, Kira.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Oh, thank you so much for being here. I mean, hello, Emmy Award winning producer in the house.
Yes.
Oh,
Long time ago. No, I'm just kidding.
Still counts.
the title lives on forever. Forever.
Exactly. So first thing I do is I check my social media. I got to see what I missed from the morning because I just moved here from the East Coast, so all my friends are up a couple hours earlier. I also pick a song and a quote of the day that I post on my Instagram story. It's just like whatever I'm feeling that day, song-wise, how to get me motivated, because I'm in a really happy place in my life, so usually they're good songs. A year ago, they might not have been. And then a quote of the day, and I think some of my friends have just kind of latched onto that. Oh, I needed that quote this morning, or that meant a lot to me. And so those are the types of things I do in the morning to get ready, get up, get energized, and then I go to work.
Oh. Well, thank you again so much for being here, for sharing your time and light. We're excited to talk to you all more later in the show.
How was your weekend, you guys?
It's great. How was your weekend, Jess?
Oh, he always deflects.
I do deflect. I like listening first.
If you follow at Rob Mac Official, we saw you scooting all over town. You were taking that bird in Santa Monica. There was a volleyball tournament that was happening.
That's right. So every year there's like a model volleyball tournament in Miami, and this year they brought a version to LA. So it was super fun. So I had a lot of Miami friends and models come to LA.
So wait. The models come up, they take off their shirts, they get up there, and are they good about it?
Yeah, they're actually really good. It's crazy because,
like
years ago when I was modeling, I wanted to be on the volleyball team. I was like, oh, we got a model volleyball team. And then I realized, I got to the court to go, and I was just like, these guys are like so serious. The girls and guys are so serious. They were legitimately good. Some of them had played college ball or whatever. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna watch. But every year it's so much fun because it's just an event during the day. All the models and the agencies come together. This year, Reggie Bush threw it on with his charitable fund 619. So I had a lot of Miami friends just come to LA. It's so nice to have that Miami vibe.
Right?
Yeah.
Nice.
Visit
Miami.
Yeah.
Miami.
And then Sunday for me was a self-care day. I like to just spend it, have a cheat day. So I eat way too much pizza, way too much, and cookies. And I just try to stay tapped in, tuned in, turned on to spirit, because I think for me that's where my peace is.
I hear you.
Your turn, Jazz.
Well,
what'd you do?
I made the move to my new spot in the 90210.
What?
And moving is so stressful.
Life is good. Life is good.
Life is good. But I will say I was so stressed out. I mean, they do say that moving can be one of the most stressful things a person can go through. When you're packing up your stuff and you realize what you need and what you have and all the things you don't have or that you want, and you're schlepping across town. And I was so stressed out. And I thought, why am I stressed out? This is so fun. I get to explore a new neighborhood. I get to create new traditions and habits and rituals. So I decided to just flip the switch and go on vacation mode. So that's what I did. I vacationed in the 90210. All I did was move the zip code, and I was walking around the streets like I'd never been there before. Tried a new coffee shop, went to a new nail salon. I was like, what does it feel like to be a local here? And I had the best time.
I love that. That is cognitive agility and positive intelligence at its best right there, Jess.
Oh,
really
well,
congratulations.
Thank you. I just thought I can't be cranky to my mom on one more phone call. So I have to be on vacation.
Mom's ready to disown you, huh?
I love that. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I just had, we had a graduation for the girls at Gracias Madres on Friday.
The girls being Boss Babe.
Yeah, Boss Babe. All the girls were at the retreat last week. And then went down to a contemplative meditation down at a Venice event with Raw Goddess, which was beautifully done, and then had a little din up on Sunset Plaza, which I loved. I feel like I'm in Europe when I'm up there. And then yesterday I actually had this very, very intensive, I'm working with a sound guy on voice and a bunch of stuff, and I didn't realize he's like complete shaman, so we ended up like getting tapped in for like 4 hours. I was completely in the other ethers for that, and then I had a little wedding to attend to from 4 to 8 yesterday.
Super cool.
I love how you just skip over you were completely in other ether.
Yeah, you yada-yada that part.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you what do you mean, and what does it feel like to be completely in another ether?
It's a great question. So, you know, when you meditate, you can get into expanding consciousness, you get whatever. And if you expand your consciousness enough, you literally become one with the universe, and you can literally have out-of-body experiences. So it's intense, and you know, you go so far out that it's hard. You got to come back and ground down literally in your body. So it's amazing because you literally feel like you're a good electrocution, but it's but it's intense because you're holding a lot of energy.
Is it like culture shock? Because when I go to Pittsburgh and come back, that's culture shock.
It's definitely culture shock when I come back. I'm like, what are we doing here? Why do we care about this?
Yeah.
Did anyone else here go to electrocution?
It's next level, Dr.
Yeah,
Next level.
That's how I felt about my espresso in Beverly Hills. I was a positive electrified. Wow. Well, we had a great week last week and some incredible guests on Friday. We'd love to show you. Look at our rewind.
Peace has to be your top priority, and to a large extent, it has to be your only priority, and you have to trust that everything else will unfold perfectly from there. But you can't be attached to any of that. So at the end of the day, it really means no fear, no desire, and that's why being in tune with your spiritual identity, that which is omnipotent, omniscient, omnipresent, is just critical and so helpful.
For sure.
But at the end of the day, it's letting go of even thoughts about that.
That is the brain's way of giving you the options of possibilities to protect you. So that's all great. The brain works beautifully in that regard, and everybody's brain works the same way.
It took me a long time to really listen and grasp what Spirit was saying. So I understood all these things intellectually, but because I had a core of low self-esteem, very low self-esteem, I was confident on the outside, I would hear these things, sense these things, know these things, but not take action.
You know, I think life experience and the journey and what you experience in life has a lot to do with that. For me, you know, and everybody goes through it. It's not an issue of if, but when you get, you know, go through difficult moments, difficult seasons, heartaches. And I think we in the church, we have to be more transparent and say it's okay, because nobody escapes that part of life.
So well said, Rob Mack.
Every now and then, something comes through. But yeah, it's what an incredible show. John Asseroff is always super amazing. I love him.
I know, the secret, man. I'm sorry. I know he's like all into all these incredible inner science and neuroscience, but the secret.
Well, it was
legendary.
Huge. Yeah, it was huge. And I think for lots of us, it was our sort of first glimpse that there was something beyond just sort of taking physical action to manifest things in your life, that you also had to get in tune mentally and spiritually.
For sure.
Well, I really respect that he is at the forefront of science meeting spirituality, meeting the secret, if you will, because so many people thought it was woo-woo, and I don't really believe in that, but now science is proving what some said was only a spiritual experience, and that's really powerful stuff.
Yeah, it is. He's a neuroscience expert. It's incredible. His book, Inner Size, gotta check it out.
Yeah.
It's available everywhere, I think.
Oh, and big miracles. Joanna
Yes.
Garzilli, she was an incredible guest. She's America's Intuitive. And it's really been an incredible book for me. I'm only about halfway through, but even just reflecting on her life lessons and how she really tapped into her own intuition and received these miracles and abiding by these 11 spiritual rules that she's laid out. It's been really interesting.
Absolutely.
Highly
love
recommend
that.
it.
And then Mr. Piano Creations, just
Right.
shredding that keyboard at Family Film Awards.
Vibration.
Keys.
Yeah, so speaking of all that, we have Motivation Monday, and we're talking about how to stay woke. So it's been such an interesting conversation, you guys, because we've been talking a lot about where is the movement going online, what's happening, and of course, I believe the next shift is where we're Spirit's brought us all together online, and now we're going to find our like communities and create things offline, reconnecting physically as well. And so I've been really in this conversation of where's technology taking us, and we're looking back on like some of the cultural movements that happened, like Me Too, Black Lives Matter, you know, gender neutral, all these things, and there's a movement that's like, of course, the woke movement, but now it's like, how are we going to stay woke? And so just tapping into that, just thinking about how, you know, obviously our daily spiritual practice is so important, but, you know, if you truly do deep meditation and do your true spiritual work, you don't need, these are all hashtags that are like, Spirit's like, duh, I've been telling you this the whole time, you know what I mean? So I think it's interesting. Where do you guys think the movements are going online?
I love the positivity movement. I love the no thought movement, and I like the movement of no movement. That's my favorite one of all, the no movement, which is really about, I think, connecting with spirit and sort of transcending all these movements and just being in that space where no thoughts, no words, and you can just experience the joy, peace, and love of life itself.
Right.
That for me is the like hashtag biggest movement of all.
For sure.
Yeah. I know.
Hashtag biggest movement of all.
It is.
Well, it's interesting to be a part of the conversation, and so many people do that in a positive or negative way on and offline. But I think there's a way of proving your wokeness, right? Proving how aligned you are with your spirituality or with your truth. And the Huffington Post released an interesting article about the best way to, quote, stay woke. And one of the first things they said was use social media wisely. So really to just step away from celebrity gossip, negativity, and really use your platform to ignite, inspire change. I mean, have a conscious conversation and share your authentic truth, right? I thought that was really important.
You know who's doing that well? All of our guests today.
That's right.
They are.
The second point they made was less talking and more working. So many times, you know, you have to get these conversations off of Facebook and really get yourself into the world, give selflessly, sacrifice, and make a difference in your community, whether that's in LALALAND or in Grand Rapids, Michigan, wherever it might be. Get offline and do something. Like Erin said, that's what's happening. We need to find our like communities and we need to give back. We really need to take action on our words.
Absolutely.
So
I think the greatest sacrifice is sacrificing this idea of a separate self. For me, that's everything, the idea that there's any division between any of us. And I think that's the root of all, essentially, trouble and problem in the world, is that there's something different between you and I and everybody else.
Absolutely. And in recognizing that, when you give, expect nothing in return. And that's something that's really interesting, especially here in Los Angeles. So many times you think, oh, I'll give and I'll get something in return, right? Like, I'll scratch your back, you scratch mine. That's not really how the universe works. Granted, there's karma and it'll all come back to you, but you can't give or serve with that expectation.
Well, yeah, and you shortchange yourself, right? I think it's so much more joyful to give from a place of sort of overabundance, when you're just so deeply in tune with your own abundance and your infinite abundance, that the giving is something that you do joyfully, and then you don't expect any response or reward at all, and you're just doing it because you enjoy it so much. I think that's the ultimate kind of giving.
So true. I've had a couple experiences in the last week there. You get so deep in it. We want to logically figure it out and do our, daily spiritual practice logically, but it really is in that, area where I just had a couple profound moments last week in deep spiritual space where you just don't have to say anything. You don't have to try and do it. It's like you literally just transcend and transmute just by the energy that's held in that space. And it's like, oh yeah, that's the real word.
Well, if you're not positively electrified or in another ether like Dr. Erin we would love to know how you stay woke and how you're contributing to your community. So slide into our DMs, leave us a comment on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter, and let us know what you're doing to stay woke in your
communities.
Stay
woke.
Yeah, keep it positive.
Yeah, let's take a break. When we come back, we're going to have some incredible interviews with some positive people and how they are staying woke and bringing awakening to the world. Stay tuned.
Our mission is to inspire, enlighten, and entertain, and we have done that with the next issue of Focus magazine, and we are lovingly calling it the Romance Issue. I'm Jessica Moyer, the managing editor of Focus magazine, celebrating the people of Los Angeles from Malibu to Manhattan Beach and into West Hollywood who are making a difference here in LA. Gracing the cover is Ms. Tosca Mas. She is the co-founder of Passion Flicks. It's a new streaming service dedicated to passion. Also on the cover is Mr. Rob Mack Official, my co-host of Good Morning LaLaLand, a happiness expert who's got a great take on the language of love. Also on the cover, Ms. Lori Harder. She's released her new book, A Tribe Called Bliss, and she's talking all of the things about loving your tribe. We're also proud to feature Tracy Bregman from Mean Girl to Legend. You may remember her from Young and the Restless, and we're talking her journey in Hollywood. I'm also proud to announce that we have iconic matchmaker Carly Spindell's take on dating in modern romance. And for the love of television, we're also featuring Mr. Larry Namer. He was the co-founder of E! Entertainment, now president of the Newtown Entertainment Group. And we had a very special interview with him on my podcast, LA Unscripted. Also in this issue, we're featuring my dear friends, the Royals Paris, Faye and Hisham, great designers from Paris, now in Beverly Hills. We're also excited to feature Sharia Jay Wilson. You may recognize her as one of the femme fatales and quintessential American actresses from shows like Walker, Texas Ranger, Dallas, and now she's launching her own production company, Sandalfin Entertainment. And we are community powered here at Focus Magazine. We're proud to feature Michelle Gillette's contribution, Healthy Sexy Brains. We're also proud to feature how one community mother is taking on our mental health and school violence crisis with her company, Q Wonder. And social media superstar and model is wielding her influence. Focus is proud to feature Sarah McDaniel. And our Focus food editor, Tamby Safran, had the opportunity to interview Chef Seth Greenberg, who's taking on Beverly Hills with his new restaurant, Citizen. And this woman is reinventing pizza. We've got a great feature on Gail Becker, the founder of Cully Power, reinventing some of our favorite foods. And our Focus TV travel editor, Wendy Kretschmer, took an incredible trip to the newest Gran Vela seaside sanctuary on Mexico's Baja Peninsula. It's life, love, and the pursuit of romance in the current issue of Focus Magazine. Be sure to catch all the video interviews available on Focus TV Network and visit focusmag.us if you want to see the digital copy of this magazine. I'm Jasmine Moyer. We'll see you next time.
Welcome back to Good Morning La La Land. It is with great honor to have Jeff Wiseman in the house. He's a filmmaker. He's created some incredible stories and about transformation and the truth. You have both Cancer Can Be Killed and Flipping the Script. Tell us a little bit about both those.
Yeah, so a year ago I released a film called Cancer Can Be Killed about how natural treatments for cancer are now far more effective than the old methods of chemo, radiation, radical surgery. My wife is one of those people who 3 years ago got bladder cancer, went to Germany, treated it naturally, and she's been cancer-free ever since. So then I started getting calls from parents saying, hey, wait a minute, if my kid has cancer and they're being told they have to do 2 to 3 years of chemotherapy, and these kids are dying, they're relapsing, they're getting brain damage, they're asking me, what can I do instead? So I tried to find a better way with these parents. But then we came up against the law, we came up against doctors' pressure, but we found it. We found the way to get children off chemo and a better way to treat their cancer.
Okay, so before we begin, we do want to disclose that we are not traditional medical doctors. We always suggest whatever liability around that. And we do know there is a point when cancer's gone so far that there is a time and a place for Western medicine, but we truly believe a miracle of the body and what can happen. So tell us a little bit more about that modality.
Yeah, so you guys were talking this morning about being woke, right? Now, as it relates to cancer, we've been told that cancer is a life-threatening disease. So therefore, we have to do all these toxic substances to nip it in the bud. The reality is, in my experience, cancer is not a life-threatening disease. It is a check engine light. It's saying something's out of balance, and we just need to get the body back in balance. And so what I do in my films is I follow both people and doctors who were able to fix the check engine light. And when you say it's important to talk to your doctor, I agree. And what's happening right now is we're getting a new wave of doctors, naturopaths, integrative specialists that are employing these methods of getting away from toxins and getting into boosting the immune system, using heat and oxygen. And so it's possible really to kill cancer now for children, for adults.
Alkalizing the system, cleansing and detoxing so that your body has its natural ability. I've seen miracles happen around cancer. So, you know, you're preaching to the choir, but I think it's very important to know, like, what is the actual modality for you guys? Because so much work has been done around oxygenation, hydrotherapy. I mean, there's like a zillion modalities, and it's like a holistic, all the practitioners coming together. But what is actually working, and how are we proving this?
So when a person has a solid tumor, we found that cancer is vulnerable to heat. So if you heat up the area where the cancer is above 105 degrees, the cancer dies, the rest of the body stays fine. It's called hyperthermia. It's amazing. And then for children or people with leukemia or lymphoma,
All this is the body's got too many toxins and not enough nutrition. So we detoxify the body, we flood it with nutrition, and then we can also use cannabis oil, because cannabis oil is a cancer killer that doesn't harm the body. And cannabis oil is able to keep the cancer away and even kill whatever's there. And so we have children now. 20 years ago, if we thought of giving cannabis to children, we'd be horrified, right? But these children are going on cannabis oil. It's not affecting them. They're not getting high. It's just killing their cancer. They're getting detoxified, flooding with nutrition, and these kids are cancer-free for years. We've now got histories of 4 to 5 years of kids staying cancer-free.
Jeff, you truly are flipping the script. Let's take a look at the trailer for the new film.
There's still this fear in you. They tell you, if you don't do this, your kid's gonna die. And they look you right in your eye and they're serious about it.
And they said it multiple times
They
to us
tell
that
us,
our child will die if she stops chemotherapy.
His side effects were so extreme, I feared I'll say goodnight to him and he won't wake up again.
Raul has been able to bear it, but it has been unbearable for me. And she shouldn't have to, because she doesn't have cancer.
Nobody knows that kids are being forced into chemotherapy, that they're being taken away from their parents in certain situations and forced into chemotherapy. 99% of the population has no idea this is happening.
There is no cancer for which I would be willing to undergo chemotherapy myself. No cancer at all. You can't say, well, what about this exception? What about that exception? Nope, no exceptions.
If you believe in the benevolence of the government and you believe that they have your best interest at heart, amazing. I wish that were true. But if you're talking about a clunky, inefficient, power-hungry, never gets enough money, never gets enough power system that tramples the rights of the people that it represents, why would you give that entity power over yourself and your family?
Incredible.
How the hell are you not in jail? Just curious.
I know. Well, what we've found is that there are a new wave of attorneys also that are willing to represent parents and go to court and then convince Child Protective Services, convince judges, hey, there's a better way than chemotherapy. And these kids are having organ failure, brain damage. We can do better than that. And surprisingly, CPS and judges are going, okay, let's do it.
That's incredible.
So,
has that been the most challenging part of this journey for you, is just increasing the awareness around it?
Increasing the awareness, but also finding the loophole. Because see, what doctors are doing is they're saying, if you don't do the chemotherapy, we will take your children from you through CPS, and they will go in foster care, and you may even go to jail.
Wow.
So we had to call their bluff, get attorneys, have CPS, just invite CPS to come to the house, and then talk to CPS and explain to them what's going on. And that's when Child Protective Services said, you know what, that makes a lot of sense. Let's stop the chemo. So there's a flip happening. There's literally a script being flipped right now around the United States. It's so exciting because these families have their kids back,
Wow, thank you for the work you're doing and really pioneering this for all the families, for all the children, for all the survivors. We're truly grateful.
Absolutely.
Tell people where they can find the film, contribute, and give back.
Yeah, so the film is available on Amazon Prime Videos and Vimeo On Demand and soon iTunes and Google Play. It's called Flipping the Script: When Parents Fight Back. And then the previous film I made a year ago is called Cancer Can Be Killed. That details more the treatments that are being made available for adults. Flipping the Script is more about children.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for all your work.
We really
Stay
appreciate
tuned. We'll be right back. We'll be right back.
Hi everyone, thank you for tuning into This Week in Focus. I'm your associate producer of the Focus TV network, which is America's first video streaming talk show network, but you already knew that. And I got my girl with me,
Jez Moye, co-host of Good Morning La La Land.
So last week on the Focus TV network, we had the Wrenwood Show. On Purpose with Brittany Zonker, we had
the incredible actor Reggie Watkins.
On the LA Home Show with our host Natasha Phillips
was broker extraordinaire Amy Kane.
Yes. On Eyes Up Here with Lindsay Palis, we had
the actress Shai Fontanet.
On Naked Chats with Josh Murray, we had
Sheena Marie from Vanderpump Rules.
Yes, we're also so excited to announce the newest issue of Focus magazine.
And we are lovingly calling it the Romance Issue. We're proud to feature Ms. Tosca Musk on the cover, along with Focus TV family Rob Mack official.
Yes,
and
our guy.
Lori Harder.
So, speaking of Rob Mack, co-host of Good Morning La La Land, Jeslyn Moyer. There was a very busy week at Good Morning La La Land. Who was on the show?
It was a great week in La La Land. On the show, we had two-time Emmy Award-winning producer and actor, Eddie Perez.
Yes.
We also had dating expert Laurel House.
What?
She co-hosts the hashtag Man Whisperer with Rob Mack.
With Rob Mack.
We were really excited to talk tennis with Carrie Lynn. And all the way from Orange County, Rachel Savoda.
Wes Gear was actually here repping his Rock to Recovery event.
And Focus TV with Good Morning La La Land was on the red carpet to promote Rock to Recovery 3. We talked to Drew Carey, Jeremy Jackson, Kira Reed Lorsch was there. Let's take a look at the concert.
Let me hear you say, hell yeah! Say, hell yeah! Ready for the F-bomb? Say, fuck yeah! Now scream! I love you guys. Let's do this.
So much fun. Thank you guys so much for tuning into This Week in Focus. I'm Victoria Simone.
And I'm Jeslyn Moyer. Don't miss the new issue of Focus magazine. Live from Los Angeles, welcome back to Good Morning La La Land. I am so excited because we have BJ the Dreamer in the house, #1 Amazon best-selling author, producer of Carpool Karaoke. Man, you are living the dream.
Yes, and that is the title of my book, Live Your Dreams Out Loud. And I mean, I am actually living it. It's a blessing.
Wow. Good for you.
Yeah.
Did you have mentors? How did you get in this mindset?
Well, I'll start here. My story, I'll try to wrap it up for you as quick as possible. I'm from a small town in Alabama called Skipperville, population of about 600 people. And so this notion of dreaming has always been instilled into me. But being in Skipperville, you don't see anything other than armadillos, one caution light. There's not much to see. And so I've just always been this curious person. And so prior to moving to Los Angeles, I found a mentor, somebody who was already doing something that I wanted to do. And what I wanted to do was come out here and host my own show. I wanted to write books. I wanted to speak. I wanted to change people's lives just through my story and just my passion and just that time wave of I knew it was the right time to do it. So at that mentor, he brought me out here to Los Angeles, and 2 years within, I got a chance to work on the Arsenio Hall show, Bill Nye's show for Netflix, James Corden's Carpool Karaoke, the spin-off series for Apple. And so now I host a web series. I wrote a book, and it's a bestseller. And I'm working on these shows. It's truly living the dream, and I'm truly blessed. Yeah.
But how did you do it? Because so many people move to Los Angeles with a dream.
Right.
And they all die trying. How did you really make yours a reality?
I found somebody that was doing something that I was already looking to do, and learn from them, but more importantly, I added value to them. I didn't ask for anything in return because what I was getting from them was bigger than what they could, any paycheck. I didn't get no paycheck whatsoever, but I just found somebody who was already doing something very similar to me, and I added value to them and just worked alongside them. Yeah,
Such an important distinction.
Yeah.
I think that we're all students and teachers always. And so who are your students? Who are those people?
I mean, I have a lot of people across, I call them dreamers, a lot of dreamers across the world who I mentor, who are part of my online courses. I teach people how to write their book. I also have teach people how to go about living their dreams and what is their dream process. And I tell everybody, listen, we all got different dreams. And I'm not saying that my way is the best way, but what I did go through and the steps that I did take to get there, it's a part of my book. I have a 6-step strategy. And that 6-step strategy came about from me surveying over 3,000 people, doing an ask campaign online, and asking them what is the number one thing, that you have to do in order to give up. I mean, if you were wanting to achieve your dreams, what is the number one thing that you're missing? And so through that Ask campaign, I just got great responses, and that became the framework to my book.
Wow. What kinds of things did you hear in response when you asked that question?
People necessarily thinking they have the right amount of time to do it, thinking they're too old, they're not clear about their dreams, they don't necessarily have the cash flow, they don't have the connection, feel as if they're competent to go about pursuing their dreams. So those are the things that pretty much became the framework.
I find it so interesting that people think that they have to be in a certain mindset, financial status in their life to start actually living their dreams.
Right. You can do it right now.
Mm-hmm.
And that's an excuse. You know, excuses are tools of the incompetent that build bridges that lead to nowhere.
Oh, say that again.
Yeah. Excuses are tools of the incompetent that build bridges that lead to nowhere.
I love
it.
Yeah.
But we know the number one thing is definitely belief when it comes to overcoming all those things. Because knowing it's possible, you can have that gap and find those answers, find that people, find that information that you need. How do you believe that people get to that belief? Is it through deep personal work, or is it to find somebody that they know has done it?
I don't think it's really black and white. I really feel as if it's just a situational basis. Sometimes we as individuals have to go through something, or I say we have to grow through something to get us there. That belief, I mean, maybe you have to find somebody else that's already doing it. You know, I tell people all the time, in order to get that belief, find somebody that's a direct mentor and get somebody that's an indirect mentor. A direct mentor meaning somebody that you may actually pay to be your mentor or your life coach. An indirect mentor can be somebody like a Tony Robbins or an Oprah or a Brendan Burchard or somebody like that, and learn from them. And sometimes that reignites or ignites that belief in you that you need in order to pursue.
You're reigniting the belief in me right now.
Yeah.
Really, you are. Your work is so inspirational. We know that you're going to be speaking at the Positivity Summit as well. Tell us a little bit about that.
Man, I'm excited. Cornell and I met through mutual friends, through one of our friends, our mutual friends who works for the Portland Trail Blazers. So we just met online and just talking about just sharing good energy. He was like, listen, I know you through this guy. I want to come to LA. I want to do this event. You know, let's just link up and talk. And we just started linking up and talking through online. And here we are now. This was maybe 9 months ago. And so here we are getting ready to have this Positivity Summit. Yourself is going to be there as one of the speakers. So I'm excited about it.
And what's your talk on?
Living your dreams.
Oh,
there it
that's
is.
a prize.
Yeah, living your dreams, the whole process. I want to give people the process of something that they take away that's tangible for them to go out and live their dreams.
I love it.
Yeah.
And tell us when it is.
October 20th. It'll be downtown at General Assembly, October 20th. I'm not sure the actual speaking lineup yet, but yeah, we're going to be there.
Gonna be fantastic.
You got to be there. I mean, because I don't want to go after you.
We go together because I don't want to go after you.
We'll hold hands and sing Kumbaya.
Exactly, there it is.
And in the meantime, where can people find you and your book?
I'm online at BJ the Dreamer. My book's online at Amazon.com. We have the new 5-year anniversary coming up. So the book, the updated and revised version will be coming out in a few months. So I'm really excited about that. But all social media is at BJ the Dreamer.
Congratulations.
Check them out.
So thank you all so much. And listen, thank you so much for having me. I'm a fan of this show. I watch you all. Congratulations to everything. Listen, I am so proud of you all, and I'm just glad to see the things that you all are doing.
Love you, man.
Thank you
Thank you,
Thank you
BJ.
so much. Thank
We're
you.
living
Seriously.
the dream. Stay tuned. We'll be back with more on Good Morning La La Land. Live from Los Angeles. Welcome back to Good Morning La La Land. It is about to get hot in here. Kelly Russo is here guiding us through the ALS Hot Pepper Challenge.
Yes, I'm so sorry, but this is going to be fun. It's for a good cause. So first, you pick a hot pepper of your choice. Then you eat it on camera. Honestly, this is, this is an underfunded disease. With money, we can cure it. We're doing this, right?
Oh, this is gonna be
okay.
Ready?
Oh, it's hot.
It's getting bad.
It's getting bad.
Make your donations. We're challenging you, La La Land, to give back to ALS. Stay tuned tomorrow for more #Friday Feels. We are America's first live streaming daily talk show. It's been a week in Los Angeles. Welcome back to Good Morning La La Land. We are celebrating #Wealth Wednesday in house today. We've got Ms. Annalyn McCord and an angel himself, Mr. Matt Thompson. Thank you so much for being here with us.
Thanks for having me.
We had the honor of going to one of the Tech Post Angel events, and it was truly one of the most inspiring things I've done in Los Angeles. I feel like I'm in entrepreneur night school.
The Tech Post Angels is sort of like Shark Tank. We'll have a big auditorium, and then the entrepreneur will go up on stage and pitch their idea for 10 minutes. And then at the end of that, we'll decide, do we put in $500,000 or do we let's show them to the door?
So I've got a few ideas.
Yeah.
Good timing. We're really at the very beginning of a huge tidal wave, I believe, in the startup and angel
It's
funding.
huge.
So,
Hulu and Netflix and Maker Studios and Full Screen and all these great.
Focus TV.
Focus
right?
TV.
I'll tell you guys that I am a huge fan of the show, and I think that you're by far the best looking, most beautiful morning show I have ever seen. I mean,
And you're
gorgeous.
proud.
And no, seriously, I mean, the impeccable dress.
Right.
You guys are, and it's such an intelligent show. It's a show that inspires others, and I love your conversation, manifesting, making people feel good. It's really inspirational, and I'm really excited to see everything that happens with this.
I want to echo. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I want
Thank
to
you.
echo Kevin's thoughts as well, because it is wonderful to see such positivity on TV, and like you were saying, relationships. It's your circle of influence, that starts your day off right, that influences everything that you do. So I absolutely love the content, and just keep doing what you're doing.
Welcome back to Good Morning La La Land. We're so honored because the show is really about positivity, inspiration, and all the above. And we are so honored to have Cornell Thompson in the house. He is doing a summit on positivity. What? That's amazing. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so I came up with the summit a couple years ago, and I wanted to do an event where it wasn't just talk, right? So it's easy to get speakers together and rah-rah and get some glow sticks and everybody get excited. Or you can do an event that's actually impactful where you're walking your talk. So the Positivity Summit is a day of amazing speakers. Our very own Rob Mack is going to be one of our speakers there today. One of our speakers on October 20th. And then the second day is a day of outreach. So we're hitting downtown LA, we're doing a homeless outreach, we're doing cleanups, and just putting our feet to action.
I just love that. And one of the things I love most about this Positivity Summit and you is that you say it's not just a workshop, it's a movement. And we've all been to seminars and workshops and they've been great. They get you super excited in the moment, and then you go home and you're like, man, but what can I really do? How can I apply that? So talk to us a little bit about that. What have you learned in your life that you think you'd like to, or that's going to be a part of this Positivity Summit that you'd recommend other people sort of get on board with?
Well, you hit the nail on the head. You can get 5 books and notes from workshops, and then you go home and life happens. You have bills to pay, your kids are going crazy. Like all the life starts hitting you, right? So for me, when I say it's a movement, it's because you can't take away an experience. So if I physically do something for you, if I'm doing a cleanup, if I give you a sandwich, that's something that never goes away. The notes you're gonna lose as soon as you get home. So my thing is, how can we give people an experience all over the world and again, appreciate what they have? You don't know how good you have it until you go around people that don't. Your worst day is their best day. So I want people to see that. I want people to understand that, man, no matter what you're going through, there's someone that's going through worse and they have a smile on their face. And we can help those people, and we do that as a country, as a world, then what would this planet look like?
Absolutely. Well, downtown LA is a great place to hold that, right?
Yeah.
We have 54,000 homeless people in LA. It's crazy. So other than that, I find that what's happening, we've been talking a lot about the movement and where we think things are going. And I do think that people are wanting to get offline. They're wanting to come together in summits. They're wanting to come together in workshops. And I also notice that, the time of the TED Talks, which are still amazing, but I think that there's a new era that's happening that where we don't just want to hear speakers. We want to have a voice and interact when we come to workshops. What can they expect as their interaction?
Yeah. So it's not about me. It's not called the Cornell Thomas Summit, right? Like, it really isn't. Like, if I want to do a summit and it's just me speaking the whole entire time, then cool. But it's not about me.
By the way, I'd go to the Cornell Summit.
Well, that's what it's called, the Positivity Summit, and it's about the people that come, because it's their energy that's going to drive this thing to the next level. It's not me or the great speakers that we have. It's the people interacting with one another. And I have a lady contact me yesterday. She goes, "I'm coming from Brazil." I'm like, Brazil, New Jersey? Like, what? Like, you talking about Brazil, like the country? And she's like, yeah. She's like, me and my husband, we're figuring it out. We're coming from Brazil just to see it. So we're all connecting. The universe is making us find each other. And so during the day, it's all interaction. So it's like, you're not gonna be just sitting down, listening. You're gonna be interacting with other people, trying to figure out how to make this planet a better place.
I love it.
What initially sparked the idea to create the Positivity Summit?
The same thing that sparked me doing quotes. I'm sick of seeing the negative stuff. I'm sick of it. I'm just like, I'm done with it.
Yeah, it's exhausting.
Yeah, it's exhausting. I think we're all fed up.
That's done.
Right? But the difference between us being fed up and normal folk being fed up is we're going to do something about it. I'm just fed up with seeing negativity. I'm fed up with looking at my timeline and seeing people have these nonsensical arguments about things they can't control.
Yeah.
And when you can walk down the street, you can go to downtown LA and you can see people in tents that have nothing. And you're sitting there worried about, well, this person said this or this person said that. It's crazy. We focus on the wrong things. Let's focus on helping people that need that help. Let's focus on loving one another. Let's focus on making this planet a better place.
I love
So
your
true.
heart.
I'm so excited about the community that you've created. So I know about your connection to Mr. Rob Mack and why you brought him on board and what we can expect from this guy.
Yeah, and I'm gonna pour into this guy a little bit because and you guys know he's amazing. But when I reached out to Rob, so you had a woman on the show here, Jennifer Schumann Paul, that does a lot of homeless outreach in Newark, New Jersey. And so I saw the interview and I said, man, these people they seem like really cool. So I reached out to Rob and I said, Rob, this is what I'm doing. I'd love to come. He messaged me back like a second later, like, oh yeah, we'd love to have you. And like he's just a genuine, authentic human being. And obviously he's super intelligent. You know, I guess he's voted the most sexiest guy on the planet. So I don't like sit next to him because it makes me look bad. But like, you know, but he has all these things that are going on. But he's just a real human. And I connect with real humans.
Tear up, man.
I connect with real humans. So for him to come and share his knowledge, like I can't wait to sit down and just hear him speak. I'm excited for it.
I so appreciate that, man. And it takes light to recognize light, and that's not to say that I'm light, but light comes through. And with you, it comes through consistently. And it came through that very the very moment that you sent me that message. And I so appreciate what you say, and I received that. But I so appreciate who you are and what you do, because we do need more positivity in this world, and the world is drowning in negativity. Yeah. And I know personally, from my personal experience, I was drowning in negativity for years. And so what you're doing to me is one of the highest teachings that I think we can offer to this world, in this life. I mean, you're right, there's so many things that we can't control. So to focus on that which is controllable is everything. Right?
Thanks, Bill. I appreciate
I just
it.
love that.
I appreciate it. Yeah. We're all finding each other. But the people that are out there that think there's no hope, there is no way a Jersey dude is going to be sitting on this couch if there wasn't another power involved in getting us together.
Absolutely.
Right?
No
So like,
question.
there's hope. Trust me. We're finding each other. We're going to make this movement humongous.
Absolutely. Can you remind people where they can find the positivity so they can find you?
So if you go to www.cornell-thomas.com, as soon as you go to the website, it is big right in your face. Because you watch Good Morning La La Land, if you put in the promo code CornellFam, CORNELLFAM, you get a huge discount to come.
Love that. You are
Thank
family.
you. You are family.
Yep.
Stay tuned. We'll be back with more on Good Morning La La Land.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
You got this, girl. Here we go.
Oh my God, you're gonna make me laugh.
That was a good practice run, though.
That was a practice run, a little slow on the uptake. Let's.
Hi, my name is Jessie Golden, and I am the creator of The Golden Secrets. Hang on a second, sorry. Can we start over?
I'm Wendy Brokaw. I'm Paula Marshall. By the way, this is politics, okay? This is not ticks. I hated it. Let's do it one more time.
Well, that's why I created Just a Thought meditation recordings, so that you can meditate in your sleep. Pause it there. Can you edit it in?
Being new in town, it gives me a perspective on, no, that was wrong.
No, can we start all over? That's too much talking.
No, I'm an actress. I mean, you've seen me. Hopefully.
Yeah, it's like so hard. It's so hard. That was so hard.
Once you go chocolate, you don't want to stop it. I'll stop.
Let's do it one more time.
Bitching,
Didn't work.
complaining,
Let me do it one more time.
We're gonna
Didn't
do it
work.
one more time.
Ready? And action.
Do I just talk again?
If you are vegan, you get a vegan broth. Jesus, guys. Fuck. I'm blah, blah.
I wish my boots looked like yours. Where are they?
It's single issue. Single issue. Single issue.
Andy, did I make it fun yet? Thank you. It's no longer a golden secret. We're done!
Welcome back to Good Morning LaLaLand. I am so excited to welcome to the show Danielle Martin. She is the founder of True Boundaries and a men coach. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So, Cornell, I think it's important for you to introduce Danielle a little bit about how you know her and why she's involved in your summit.
Yeah, so Danielle I met through jiu-jitsu. What people don't know about Danielle is she's a world-class jiu-jitsu practitioner. So I met her through, we have mutual friends, and whenever I meet people I think they're cool, I'm like, all right, let's connect. So I came here in Los Angeles, we connected, and then I started finding everything else about her, that she was a speaker, that she's an author, that she's an amazing mother, just all this great stuff. So I was like, hey, we need to be best friends. That's not how it's that easy.
And the body, the jiu-jitsu's working. We all want to know your trick.
Wow, and congratulations, author of True from the Inside Out. Tell us about what was the catalyst for this book.
You know, one day I was diagnosed with Lyme disease in 2010, and I had been on infusions for about 13 months, 5 days a week. And I would go back, and it kind of just came out. I just started writing, and I really didn't know how to organize it into a book. And then I kind of shelved it. And a mentor of mine was like, "Hey, you should write a book." I'm like, "I actually have one." And you know, it really talks a lot about just kind of my story and finding strength through adversity, and just that kind of unwavering strength that we have in the human will and human frailty. And talks about life, love, my kids. And it's just kind of my story, and as raw as I could, you know, pretty much tell it, just exactly that.
Let's talk about that power that comes through, whether it's Lyme disease overcome now or in your practice. What is your experience with tapping into what's like that second wind that the runner gets, that part of us that is the difference between someone like succumbing to Lyme's disease versus overcoming it?
You know what, there's a lot of variables in life that we don't control, and there's some that we do. And one of those things is, you know, I think when people ask me about Lyme disease in particular, it's got 54 different symptoms. It's the autoimmune, and it's very predictably unpredictable. It just is basically gonna floor you. And the variables that we do control, there's a lot of power in just having a positive attitude and getting up every day and really being true to where you're at that day and maximizing what you can out of that. And no matter how small or big it is, being able to just acknowledge that and be okay with it, and being comfortable in your own skin, and just never, kind of being born with that never give up spirit. And I'm really blessed with that.
Were you born with it? Were you born with that mindset, or is that something you've cultivated over the years?
You know, I think that there's an aspect of us being born a certain way, but I think that we also are conditioned in life. You know, people are always like, oh, they're going to rise to the occasion. You don't rise to an occasion. You default to your level of training or conditioning or environment or experience. And so I believe that, you know, we all have a purpose in life, and we're all brought to that purpose in unique different ways. And my way, you know, was through a lot of adversity, and through not giving up, and through some really extraordinary experiences in my life. I always have something coming, and I'm always able to have that perspective to be open to certain things and taking advantage of them and giving it a try. And I've learned a lot, and I've built a lot, I've failed a lot. And through that failure, you know, you get back up. It's not, I always say this, it's not how we fall, it's really how we get up that defines us. And it's about our reaction to things. So I've just, you know, I wouldn't change anything. And I think that that's what kind of propels me to be able to go out and help different people, or help have that fighter, athlete, you know, adverse mindset to step in and just be like, there's going to be a way, let's find it.
So how are you doing that through True Boundaries?
So True Boundaries, you know, we do jiu-jitsu, and I have a black belt, and I would get called up all the time to come do self-defense seminars. And as I started peeling back the layers of self-defense, I realized self-defense was this very interventive thing. How could we avoid being in that interventive situation that was so scary? And I really did a lot of research on violence, on assault, on domestic violence, sexual assault, bullying, all these things that kind of fell under that umbrella. And I realized that there was ways to go about, there's ways to teach a preventative aspect of it. So instead of just being about like the physical aspect of self-defense, I was like, we can protect ourselves from the inside out. And especially women, you know, I was like, God, we always get our hearts broken, and we have these insecurities that come from that, and being broken and then trying to get back up, and you think that you're going to get up and have this new opportunity or something, and you realize you're back in the same situation because you haven't figured out where that break was. So the personal protection is what I started going around speaking about, anti-bullying to kids, talking at the college levels about campus confidence, safety situations we could get in. And from there, this curriculum developed that I would just kind of found myself revisiting and talking about, which was based off of intuition and situational awareness, leading into confidence. And from all those things came this empowerment. So it was this personal protection and then empowerment piece. And then it evolved to the mindset. And I realized when I go in, I can show, we could show you 100 different moves, and you're going to leave here going, I've got this, with this false sense of security, and you're not going to know one real move, and you're not going to really be prepared for an assault situation. So it was really the hour and a half that I had with these people was flipping the switch on their mindset.
Wow.
And so I started really focusing on that and how I could change their mindset so that they could never walk out and ignore their intuition. And it wasn't just hearing it, like I hear it, but let me override it, but let me obey it. And what does that look like? And it just makes us better people. It makes us equipped to go out and maximize our potential. It makes us more brave to look at the opportunity or the doorway that's presented and to walk through it with this amazing, different kind of confidence. And it helps you to go out in your life and be like, I want to maximize my life personally and professionally. What does that look like? And that was your own type of greatness equation, because how you define confidence is very different than what my definition of confidence might be. But these terms are thrown around so generally, and people leave, you're like, go have some confidence, look at you, you're beautiful. And you walk out the room, and here you're like, yeah, it feels good. And you get in your car and you're like, but I don't feel confident. And how do I even get to that? What is she talking about? So when I meet with people and I work with, from pro athletes to high school kids or whatever, I kind of take their little puzzle that is them, and I look at it and I kind of structure it. I define the pieces for them, and we build their little greatness equation. And they're able to have this mental game plan that they can, take to the mental game or whatever it may be.
Cornell, how has Danielle affected your mental game?
Yeah,
Your greatness equation.
It's funny because when you have people that are like Danielle and like Rob and you guys, it's almost like we coach each other.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll have a conversation about something, or something, there'll be a situation that comes up, and we just brainstorm it. So that's probably the biggest thing. So if I have something that's coming up, or an obstacle, or she has an obstacle, we'll talk back and forth, and through us coaching each other, I learn so much. So all my friends are, like a lot of my friends are like me, where you guys were using the term woke, like they're aware, right? There's this different level of awareness. So I don't ever really have any problems because we just talk and we brainstorm it, and next thing you know, it's like two people doing a Rubik's Cube instead of me trying to do it.
We black belt the problems.
We black belt. We just chuck it out.
That's
we
great.
just chuck out the problem
I
together.
think I could use a little black belt to my life.
Yeah.
That's really exciting. So tell us about the talk you're giving at the Positivity Summit.
We're still developing that. I think, a lot of the talks that I'll give will be just customized kind of to it really depends on the crowd, and energy comes through. I don't ever really have a planned out talk. I kind of understand what I'm coming into, and then I go in and you really just kind of take that energy and you feel what maybe these people need at that time. And I'll kind of go from there. It'll be, definitely on, the path of whatever it is, and we're going to see what we've got and what the lineup is, and maybe what they're calling for.
She's like super duper humble, right? So she was just on this like ultimate like ninja challenge. It was like a survival show that she just got through.
It's airing on Discovery.
Like she just has not bought that up yet. But I'm like waiting. I'm like, so we were just on this thing that 1% of the population probably wouldn't be able to, like, no one would be able to do.
Right.
So she was on this, and so when she talks about mindset, I just sit back and just like, I'm gonna take some notes. Yeah.
It was basically set based off of the principles of the ninja. And what I take from it, we were out there for 25 days surviving in the British Columbian wilderness in the back of, country of Whistler, where there's bears, and I lost about 19 pounds. And then we got to go meet the last surviving ninja in Japan, the people who made it that didn't tap. It wasn't a competition with other people per se. It was really a competition within yourself. And there's a lot of times that you want to quit, and you realize, like, in that moment who you really are. And I was more afraid to tap out and come home and live with that person I looked in the mirror at, thinking you could have 10 more days or 5 more days or whatever. And what it taught me is that really difficult times in life, they're temporary. And we do have it inside to push through and get through certain things that we think we cannot. And, your body can go. If your mind, I would say the most important body part on us is between our ears. And if we can set that straight, we are capable of really, truly great things. And days where you feel like you're stressed, or you're in your car, you're like, I can't do this. You really can. You really can. And you have to just walk through it. It's forward motion. I always say horses buck because they don't want to move forward. It's not because they don't want you on them or whatever. They don't want to move forward. Humans, we don't like change, we don't like transition, we don't like these things. They're very uncomfortable for us. We like routine, we like certainty. We like to know for a fact certain things. And there's certain necessities and things that we need as humans.
Fucking, it's like drama for us, right?
Yeah. It's drama. It's saying no, I'm not.
Like, yeah.
Exactly. We're bucking. We're horses bucking around, bronking. Some of us in the street. Yeah. Yeah. We're bronking around. Yeah. But you know, it's taken that next moment. And I got to tell you, there's moments out there. We were wet, cold, and hungry the whole time. I mean, clothes on our back, no tents. We were given sleeping bags here and there, but it was like down to 23 degrees where you're on your feet all night, or I had to make fire with my bare hands. Like, I did not go out there like that. I'm not some survival expert. But I mean, if I had to make a fire, you will. You're like, I can't, but you are, and you don't give up.
That is incredible.
Yeah, it was amazing.
I hope they paid you well.
Let's say no, they did not.
You are an incredible example to me. I wouldn't think I could do that.
I didn't either.
But you did it. And I look at you and I truly admire that. This incredible example you've set for your sons as well. That's so wonderful. Thank you, Cordell, for making this incredible introduction.
I'm just bringing it to the couch.
Danielle, tell everyone where they can find you and your book.
They can get my book on Amazon. I actually just lowered the price so everybody can have it. It was millions of dollars before. No. And you can get it from my foundation website as well, which is www.trueboundariescharitable.foundation.org. And I will sign that copy for you if you get it from there. And some of the proceeds go to my foundation, which supports kids that have been bullied, people who have been basically victims of any type of violence, assault, sexual assault, domestic violence, bullying, things like that. So, thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Stay tuned. We'll be back with more on Good Morning La La Land. We are so excited. You're bringing back the heat. Season 4, Hit the Floor, coming out next week, July 10th.
Yes.
Wow.
10 o'clock, y'all be eating.
Yes.
I'm so excited.
Totally.
Hey, I mean, we filmed the show. I saw the premiere last night. We saw the first episode, so it's real.
Wow.
It's happening.
The LA Devil Girls are back.
Yeah, they're back. They're back in full force. Yeah. I don't know how I'm still dancing this hard. And Tiana Taylor is joining our cast. You know,
but it's kind of showcasing the culture of it, right?
Oh yeah, for
money,
sure. The sex, the fame,
the
the scandal, and the jaw-dropping dances, because there's amazing dance in every single episode. Michael Wing is a choreographer, and he kills it every time. I mean, he's trying to kill me.
Day on the 4th of July. Also want to celebrate Ms. Leanne Tessa. She's an incredible talent. She's part of the Club Mickey Mouse. We got to celebrate with her at the recent release of her hit single, Runnin'. Rob and I were on the red carpet in the most recent issue of Focus magazine. Take a little peek right here. And she sang the national anthem at Dodgers Stadium.
Killed it.
Right?
Killed
Killed it.
She sure
Let's
did.
take a look.
O'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
So awesome.
Nailed it. Welcome back to Good Morning La La Land. Eileen Gruba is in the house. She's an actress, she's a producer, and she is a disability advocate, gracing the cover of Ability magazine.
Yes.
Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you. Thank you. Such a It's pleasure my to have you. pleasure, really. I'm excited to be here.
So,
Thank
Cornell, how did you find Eileen?
Like everybody in my life, through someone else.
Shelly.
Through Shelly. There's a woman named Shelly that I met like 2 weeks before I met Eileen. And she was telling me, she was like, there's this actress, she's amazing, you have to have her come to speak at the summit.
Let me guess, Dr. Shelley,
Yes,
Inspiring
Dr.
Magazine.
Would you guys know?
Yes, know me well.
So Dr. Shelley said you have to have her come speak at the summit, and then me and Eileen connected. And so I flew in yesterday at 10:30, and then right from me getting my car, I drove to this amazing event that she was doing with Paul.
Paul Ford, yes.
Paul Ford for actors with disabilities. So I flew in, spoke, and then went on throughout my day. So she's just an amazing human being.
Cool.
Thank you.
Incredible.
Eileen, I would love to know a little bit more about your journey. You know, I read the article in this issue of Ability magazine. You're on the cover of it, and you are such an example of just continuing to live your dreams regardless of your disability. And you know, you're not labeled by that, you are not stopped by that. And for me, I find that so inspiring. There's a story in here about you playing in Cinderella, and you wore construction boots,
Yes.
not a glass slipper, construction boots. And I thought, wow, yeah, that is a woman who really has figured it out. So tell us a little bit about your journey. Take us back there.
Okay, so I'm a healthy, normal, active child like everyone else, and then we got vaccines for school, and one of the vaccines attacked my spinal cord. I was just under 5 years old. It nearly killed me. They told my parents I wouldn't live, and when I did, they said she'll never walk again. And I just never could wrap my head around that, so I didn't. And I just, I kept trying. I literally was the kid that they just stuck me in a wheelchair, and they were like, well, there's that. And I just kept trying to force my weight on my legs every day. I would slide out of bed on my stomach and try to put my, because I didn't understand why I couldn't walk anymore. And then I fell many, many times, many, many days, many, many months. After about, I think it was about a year and a half, I was able to start to stand a little on my bed like a 2-year-old trying to learn how to walk. And then eventually I had a walker, and then many, many, many surgeries, even 2 over the last year and a half, major rebuilds, and cancer from all the x-rays when I was a kid. And the journey, if I told you it all, if I didn't have the scars to prove it, you wouldn't believe it. But you're right, I never allowed my challenges to stop me from doing what I wanted to do.
How did you stay so positive during that? Because I think so many people would be angry, resentful.
I will say that you have your ups and downs. You have your times when you're angry, and I have this little saying I like to say, which is punch out, not in. I'm not going to beat myself up because people don't like my scars or my challenges or whatever. I'm going to punch out creatively into my work, into my characters, and incidentally, I end up playing a lot of these really wild characters who literally punch people on Sons of Anarchy and stuff, you know, but I mean out, take that energy out into the world and create change. And as a small child who went from being perfectly normal to severely challenged and fighting for my life, and then figuring out how to walk again and thinking, oh, this is so cool. I remember the first day that I went to school and Mom pushed me into my wheelchair, and I couldn't wait to show everyone that I could stand, because I stood and my legs bent all the way backwards, and I was so excited. And then I was shocked to find out how mean everyone was going to be, because now I had a disability. Wow. And I'm very passionate when I talk about this, because the harder the battle became trying to be an actress with a flaw, because we're in this industry that perpetuates this illusion of perfection, that only puts a weight on the entire human race that they can't live up to, because perfection is an illusion. And the harder the resistance for me, the more I was like, you know what, I've been through worse. I will stick it out. I will find a way. There were days when I was mad, and when I got mad, I would smile in my head and say, you know, it's okay, because I'm going to come back and I'm going to fire you one day. You know, and that drove me. But the biggest drive was me thinking about all those little kids coming up into the world. And I do not want one more child who has fought for their life to go into the ugly, mean world of bullying and abuse that I went into. I don't want another kid to go through that and then go into the adult work world and not be allowed to work because they've got scars that should be honored. Honored, not...
Well, thank you so much for your inspirational story. Oh my gosh, it's so inspiring. So inspiring. So we need more people speaking that are in your genre, if you will, as far as representing all of our oneness together.
Hashtag all in. Yes. All in, because every human being has a purpose, and with this community of people with challenges, which by the way is 20% of the human race, and they've been forced to be hidden and hide their challenges and not be allowed to participate in the world and on screen, and they're not represented accurately, which is why people fear their challenges so much. I'm like, you want to see strong women? I know where they are.
Thank you so much.
You want to put them on TV?
Oh my gosh, she's representing.
Yeah.
At the summit.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes,
I love that.
I am.
She is.
I am. So I'm extremely passionate about it because I feel like we've been keeping out our game changers, our own problem solvers, and they are mighty. They've done nothing but adapt, adjust, overcome all their lives. They're good at it. So why would we keep out our own game changers?
So true.
This doesn't make any sense to me. You know?
Eileen, you are a game changer.
Sure.
I have no doubt that you will have an incredible influence
Thank you.
on the world of entertainment.
Thank you.
And the world itself. Thank you for being here and being with us.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I really
Where can people
appreciate it.
find your work?
You can find me. I just became the Global Inclusion Ambassador for. Remember, we keep.
Yeah, it's a long title. And I was hoping you were going to look to your left.
Brand Ambassador for Global Disability Inclusion, and so my story is starting to go out all over, inspiring lives. You can find me all over Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, everywhere at Eileen Gruba, GRUBBA. And if you Google my name, you can pretty much find me anywhere under my name.
Perfect. Thank you so
Eileen.
much.
So appreciate it.
Thank
Stay
you.
tuned. We'll be right back.
For you, in this moment, what feels most true to you?
The three of you. Really grounded and present and like honored to be sitting with other like-minded individuals. I think that it's so important with everything that's going on in the world that this is our now, that this is hopefully the future. And, you know, because of the experience with certain things on TV in the past, it's heartbreaking. And it's heartbreaking to watch, and it's heartbreaking to see other people go through it. And people out there watching it don't really understand what it does to your psyche and to your heart. It's just tragic. And so I think what you guys are doing here is absolutely just a gift.
This is my sanity.
I can see that.
There's so much insanity in my life and uncertainty. This is my truth.
I have a hard time saying no to. One is a boy in a band, and the second is a Snickers bar. So I wrote a song about both.
I hear you, sister.
Chasing you down like an ice cream truck. Every damn time that my phone lights up, I'll be salivating at the sound of what's up. Yeah, what's up? Boy, you're delicious. It's too bad you ain't nutritious. When you say my name, it's like candy. When you kiss my lips, it's like candy. You're no good for me, you're like candy. You're like candy, hey.
Oh, thank you guys.
Love addiction. I hear it. Wow.
Do you guys want to be my backup singer?
I was like, okay, you guys, come on. We need to get vulnerable here.
Totally. I think it's okay to pepper it in, and I love beautiful content, and I've always been a fan of putting out really quality content, but at the same time, I think that it's really important for my industry to tell their story. The mission has definitely been to inspire women to be the best version of themselves and kind of be an example and a role model for a lot of girls that are reading my blog.
What's been the biggest challenge for you in doing this, in building this business?
Ooh, the biggest challenge, I think, is how consistent you really have to be. So what I've had to do is learn that I'm like a cell phone. I have 100% charge, and it goes down to 1%. And when it's down there, I need to step back, recharge. The consistency of creating content, it can be a lot, but I think I love it. And
We're back on Motivation Monday. We have Kira Karlstrom in the house. She is a cancer survivor, professional basketball player, ESPN anchor, currently Capitol Records. Holy cow, like you've got it going on, girl.
Done it all.
I lived 9 lives already.
Is that the way you feel?
Sometimes I think, you know, I'm 33 years old, and I think sometimes when I tell my story, people are like, whoa, you've done all this in 33 years. So.
Wow.
Were you always an overachiever?
My humble self would say no. My real self, yeah. I think I was always really motivated as a kid. If somebody put something in front of me where they didn't think I could achieve it, I think that gave me so much more motivation to just keep going and achieving things. I mean, I'm 5'3", so being a pro basketball player, most people are like, oh, did you play softball or field hockey or...
Wow.
Yeah.
And you were a power forward. Right?
I mean, my senior year, I led the nation rebounding for sub 5'5" guards. So
that's mind blowing.
Right? Yeah.
Mind blowing.
So rebound. Well, that was
the thing always, everybody said, you're a point guard, like you shouldn't be in the paint, you shouldn't be rebounding.
Yeah,
and I was like, F you.
So Kira, you're like a walking positive like being, like everything, you've turned everything that's negative into positivity basically. So tell us what you think when you think of positivity. What does that mean to you?
I think it has to do a lot with attitude, and I think adapting to change, because I think I've had a lot of situations in my life where I've had to adapt to change. My basketball career ended because I had a ruptured appendix and I woke up on the table during surgery. I was playing in Romania. It was a really traumatic experience, and then later, 3 years.
Wait, you woke up in the middle of the surgery?
Yeah.
Oh.
And they got me out of bed within 6 hours of surgery, and I passed out on the floor, and they forgot to give me medicine. My stint was in for 6 days, so it was like, it was a really, really traumatizing experience. And when I came back to the States, I was still sick. I had had a parasite for 6 months, so I was dealing with that, and I came down with thrush, and I lost like 25 pounds in, you know, the course of 2 or 3 weeks. Wow. And so making that decision, am I going to go back, finish my 2-year contract that I'd only spent 9 or 10 months in, or am I going to go out and get a real job and be an adult? And so that was a big decision for me. And then I was like 1.5 years into my first job at ESPN, and I was diagnosed with thyroid cancer.
Wow.
So I think every step in my life has, and since then too, I've had a jaw tumor, I've had, you know, 7 surgeries up until now, and I think there's just been a lot of things for me that I've had to get over, and I think attitude has been the reason why I've gotten through it. Every day I wake up and I'm like, I'm here, I'm alive. I've got something to prove, I've got something to do. And being able to adapt to change in those situations, because, you know, I've lived in New York, I've lived in Connecticut, Romania, LA, Philly, you know, I've been all over the place, and being able to be in different environments with different people, with different attitudes, and I think environment is really key because it's different, so different from New York to LA or Connecticut, or I grew up in Michigan.
Me too.
Really? Where are you from?
Grand Rapids.
Okay. I'm Clarkson, so east side of the state, but.
Well, us Michigan girls, we always like each other.
Right?
We always do. I think that there's like a little bit of this like hardworking Michigander in us. It's like, oh no, we won't stop. We've got some, we're on a mission. There's a purpose here. So Kara, what is your mission?
My mission, I think, in life is to just spread positivity. I think it is to show people that no matter if you do hit rock bottom. I had a really tough year this year. I probably went from the worst year of my life to the best year of my life within 8 months. And I think it is really key just to stay positive and to wake up and know that you do have a purpose here. And I've gone through all of these things in my life for a reason. And part of that, I'm so grateful that I met Cornell and to be able to speak at the summit, because I've always looked at my story like, oh, it's not really that great of a story. I haven't been through that much. I haven't been through like what other people have been through. But at the end of the day, I start talking about it. I'm like, okay, I have been through some things that, you know, people could be inspired by.
Mm-hmm. What do you love most about her, Cornell?
A lot, everything. I always call her my little sister, but I was drawn to her because of her story. And I tell people all the time, like, as human beings, we do the eye test on people. And we do it by stature, we do it by color, we just do the eye test. So when you look at Kira and you're like, oh, she didn't, like she said, oh, she's like a softball player, a soccer player. Yeah. Then you find out she's like a Division I basketball player. She played at a college one of my buddies played at. And then you find out her rebounding, and then you start talking to her and you're like, oh, wait a second. She's survived all these traumatic things. And one of those things could have set someone back for the rest of their life. She's gone through all of them. So when I meet people like that, my job, my purpose is to pour into them and let them know how amazing they are. So when she's telling me she didn't have a story, I remember we were in Philly, we were sitting down talking, I'm looking at her, I'm like, are you on crack? like, what are you talking, like, I was like, are you serious? Like, this is like multiple books, this is speeches, this is, so I said, we're staying in contact, and we have, thank God, for me, because I just love being inspired by her.
Wow, I just love that. Where does your positivity and resilience come from? Or who does it come from?
I think a lot from my parents, and I think it really started when I was a kid. I started basketball late. I didn't start until I was 11, which is late nowadays. Most kids start really young. And I fell in love with basketball. I was a dancer before that. And I wanted to make varsity as a freshman. It was like my #1 goal when I was in middle school. I loved all the girls on the team. It was the first time I'd been like, wow, team sports, this is amazing. And everybody was like, you're too small. You're never gonna make varsity as a freshman. And I made varsity as a freshman, and I ended up starting. And throughout that, it was like, the next was, you're never gonna make Division I. And then it was, you'll never go pro. You know, so I think some of that came from so many people not being in my corner. And, you know, my dad and my grandpa never missed anything. And I think that's where a lot of that comes from, is just the people who I needed in my life to believe in me believed in me. And I believed in myself. And I think that's one key thing that a lot of people are missing, is that the only person that you really need to believe in you is you.
So powerful. And until you do, people have a hard time believing in you.
Right.
If they do it all. Yeah.
Totally agree. So I think that's where a lot of it comes from, my family and my background and people like Cornell, who's here to tell me that I do have something to say sometimes. May not always be good, but.
I love that. So where can people find you?
Instagram, the KK23. I mean, I work for Capital Music Group. Great part of my career. It's my favorite job so far. No offense to you.
So far.
So far.
You've got a long life to live.
I know, I got a lot more years.
Your mission is huge. Thank you, Cornell, for helping her share her story and her life.
It's all this one.
Yeah, thank you guys for
We
having me.
appreciate it.
This is great.
Stay tuned. We'll see more. We'll see more.
We'll see more. We'll see more.
Good morning, LaLaLand.
Welcome back to Motivation or Mindset Monday. It's been a fantastic show here on Good Morning LaLaLand. I have a final question of the day, and that question is, if there's one thing, one tip that you would give other people to maintain a positive mindset in their lives, what would it be? So maybe we'll start with you, Jeff.
I think for me it's have a healthy distrust for everybody out there, including my own brain, and start the questioning process.
That's powerful. One of my favorite quotes from Osho was, it's not about answering your questions, but questioning your answers. And I think that's so powerful, Jeff. Thank you for sharing that. Cornell?
I had to follow that.
Yeah, I know. It's a little problematic.
The answer is C.
You're the boss guy. You'll find someone out here somewhere.
For me, it's realizing that you're here for a purpose, right? We're all created for a reason. So 1 in 400 trillion chance for you to even be created, and you are here. So no matter what you're going through, understand that you were here for a reason and your steps are guided.
Love that. Yes.
Me too.
Bam.
Now I have to follow that. It's so simple, but never give up. Jim Valvano said it, Jimmy V, famous, in his SB speech, and that's one thing I've always gotten up and lived by through everything I've been through, is never give up.
It's everything.
Mine would be life is short and it's bigger than us. It's not about us. If we realize all the people around us really matter and really see people and be around people who really see us and keep moving forward towards the big picture, that keeps you going.
I would say that beyond all the variables in the world that we don't control, the one things that we do is our attitude and even our effort. So if we can just keep that in mind and get up and try to set a positive attitude, then we're starting our day off pretty good, giving ourselves a good chance.
That's right. And if you need help with doing that,
yeah, you know where to find us.
Every Friday at 9 a.m. on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. You can also listen to your favorite interviews available as a podcast on iTunes.
That's right. We're waking up the world together. Have a wonderful day, you guys. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe, and follow these guys and go on the 20th. Be there or be square.
Good morning, LaLaLand.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Really awesome.
on the support.
Yeah. Next one. Next one. This is awesome.
Cornell John, what?
Cornell Dash Thomas.
Cornell Dash.
Are you going yet? Yeah. You gotta be there. All right.